Hello guys, Vanakkam and welcome. So let's have a look between Jan Nepomniachtchi against Anish Giri. Nepo was white here, so he chose 1 e4 which he normally does, and Giri chose Sicilian e4 c5, knight of 3. And since chessable course done by Giri in knight off, there he has played many games with black himself, but in this game he chose second move knight c6. He just wanted to enter the Sveshnikov system. So Nepomniachtchi plays d4, cd4, knight d4, knight of 6, knight c3, e5, knight db5, d6, bishop g5, a6, knight a3, b5. All these are quite standard stuff. Knight d5, bishop e7, bishop f6, bishop f6. Yeah, so when I was checking at Nepomniachtchi's games, I saw that mostly he used to play c4 here. However, in the last month in Magnus Carlsen Invitational event, he chose c3, and in this game also he chose c3, and here Giri chose rook b8. So generally castle is the main line. So the point of rook b8 is basically black wants to play b4 right away, and this was also chosen by Carlsen against Anish Giri. Carlsen was black against Anish Giri in Tata Steel in 2019. So here white has to play knight c2 to stop this b4, and here black plays bishop g5. So in generally in this system, the black dark square bishop belongs on at c1 at 6 diagonal. The point is, whenever white goes knight e3 to have a firm control over the d5 square, black can always consider taking the e3 knight. And there is a one small move order nuance. If black goes castle, hoping white goes bishop e2 or bishop d3, then black can play bishop g5. But the slight drawback of castle is that white can go h4, stopping bishop g5. And if you take bishop h4, white can just play queen h5, attacking the bishop, and the bishop cannot move because of the mate on h7. So this is a small move order nuance. That's why Giri chose bishop g5 right away before castling. So g3, castle, h4. Again, all these are quite standard stuff in this variation. Bishop h6. And here I was a bit surprised when Nepo chose a3. He just kept all the options open. He did not play queen d3, bishop g2 or bishop h3. He just chose g3 and just decided to postpone the decision of developing the f1 bishop. However, I think white could have gone bishop h3. So if black takes bishop takes h3, white has rook h3, and then the square on d5 cannot be challenged because there is no dark square bishop anymore. So the typical way to handle bishop h3 is to play bishop e6. So point being, black is pressurizing the d5 square, and if white takes, black can recapture with the pawn and again control the important d5 square. So in this position, white has various ways to continue. Queen d3 is one logical way, and another typical move in this kind of structure and variation is to play king f1, just go king g2, kind of artificial castling, and defending the h3 bishop. And this is something I think Kramnik will be very proud of, since he has been advocating non-castling chess. So king f1 is one way, interesting way. Bishop e6, f e6, knight d3. This is also another way to play. Basically, trying to pressurize the d6 pawn by playing queen d3 and rook d1. Ivanchuk has played a couple of games in this line. However, when I was checking with computer, it came up with a very very interesting move, which is bishop f5. I guess maybe it wanted to go queen g4, or just it wanted to maintain pressure. So the point is, if g6, now computer wanted to take on e6, f e6, knight d3. So according to computer, it feels that g6 is actually maybe a useful provocation from white's point of view, because there can be always h5 and to open the h file. So this is one interesting line, bishop f5. However, Nepo decided to play a3, just postponing the decision where to develop the bishop. So Giri plays a5 quite logically, keeping the option of b4. And again, Nepo chose queen d3. Again he developing postponing the decision of developing the f1 bishop. So queen d3, and black Giri plays knight e7, keeping an eye on the d5 square. And I think black is already little bit more than fine here. Not only he has bishop pair, but also he is having control over the important d5 square. So knight e7. So Nepo chose knight c e3 to control the d5 square. If knight e7, queen e7, rook d1. Black can of course play rook d8, defending the pawn. Or if you wanted to play aggressively, he can also play bishop e6. Just try giving up the pawn. If queen d6, then there can be queen b7 attacking the e4 pawn. And if we see that white is still uncastled, and black also threats to play some bishop b3. If white goes bishop g2, black can also go bishop c4. Stopping white from castling. And I think black is always better here. So that's why white chose knight c e3 to have firm control over d5 square. So this is another critical moment where Giri just played bishop e3, knight e3, bishop e6 and equalized comfortably, because d5 square is now controlled by both the minor pieces and it is just completely equal. However, there is also one interesting way to play this position. Black also could have tried this knight takes d5. So white logically has to capture the knight, and then black has f5, trying to take the game into complicated zone, and where white is still uncastled. This would have been led to a interesting fight. However, bishop e3 is also fine, and which equalizes the game right away, and in the end the game ended in a draw. Yeah, thanks for watching.